Welcome back to the Rowdy Studio. I'm Stephen Levine. This is Tom Vandervoort, and this just in, Kurt Busch is still a knucklehead.
Oh, come on. Be nice to Kurt. He's just a competitor in him.
That's what he says. He says, I don't know what does.
First, let's just describe what happened
here's what
for
happened.
the people.
Kurt Busch was leading the race 90-some laps in at Talladega. When he runs out of gas, inexplicably.
How do you, why? I guess,
You know, at the end of a race, maybe, I understand it. At the end of Talladega, okay, but 90 laps in, when you're leading, you run out of gas. Okay, but let's just put that aside. That's obviously not Kurt's fault.
Yeah.
So he slows down. Jamie McMurray gets into the back of him, and Kurt pulls down and stops the car. He gets out. He inspects the damage. Meanwhile, the safety crew arrives on the scene to attend to him and his car. And Kurt sees, well, my tires aren't flat. I think I can drive it away. So he gets back into the car and he drives it into the garage thinking, let's get this thing back out on the track. Meanwhile, NASCAR is shouting at him on the radio, stop the car. And he's got safety equipment flying off the back. But Kurt Busch has not put his helmet back on, so he can't hear NASCAR's admonitions or those of his crew chief to stop the car. And he drives into the garage.
Since when the driver's responsible for, like, making sure their tires are up? I mean, these guys are driving these things back to the garage on the rims.
So NASCAR parked the 51 for the rest of the day.
You can't do that.
For disobeying a direct order.
I have a theory.
And Kurt Busch says, well, it's just the competitor in me. I wanted to get it back on the track.
Well, obviously, I don't think there's any, like, malicious intent here. It just was kind of a bonehead move.
He's just a knucklehead.
But here's the thing. You know, if you're a golfer and you have a slice, right, you know, kind of play it out to the right. You know what I mean? So you got to kind of counter what your own general play is, right? So if you're Kurt Busch, the theory would be whatever my instinct is, like, do the opposite. And then I think, you know, so if my instinct is to get back in the car and drive it away, just take a breath and think, is that something Kurt Busch would do? And if the answer is yes, then don't do it.
Here's why it was kind of a silly thing. I mean, obviously it was silly on a lot of levels, but the safety guys are all up in the car and their equipment bag is on the back of it. It's not like, I mean, when he drove it away, they had to jump back because they were like on it and working on it. That's what is inexplicable to me.
I agree.
I mean, it's like one thing if there's nobody around, but these guys are like working on the car and had to save themselves.
I think the competitor aspect is true in this one sense. I think when he gets frustrated and he gets angry, it like wipes out a major portion of decision-making ability.
Right? It's like if you have limited common sense to begin with.
Well, I don't know about it. I just think that, like, you know, something goes to red in there and the switchboard, the circuit board gets going, and then no good decisions are made at that point.
I think that actual noise goes on in Kurt Busch's head.
So it's like when you get to that point of rage and frustration and your circuit board is going, you gotta fight it. You gotta have a way to flip the switch and just shut the whole thing down.
Putting on your helmet so that people with cooler heads can actually communicate to you would be a good first step. Though it is a fitting end to Kurt Busch's career at Phoenix Racing because, of course, he starts at Furniture Row this coming weekend at Charlotte.
The Phoenix did not rise, unfortunately.
No, the Phoenix flamed out.
Poof.
For Tom Vandervoort, I'm Stephen Levine. Thanks for watching, and Kurt, you know we love you.
We do. We just, you know, we have to be mean
You're
sometimes.
just a knucklehead.
So are we, though.
Yeah.
So.
But we don't race cars for a living.
That's why our knuckleheadedness doesn't show up on the racetrack.
Exactly.
Just shows up